What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Self-Made Mega Farm. We are in harvest full mode. We got our new setup with the mower and baler and wrapper all going at once. It seems to be taking longer, to be honest with you. Not sure how long we'll keep doing that, but we've got a little pathway made over there to go around the fields and split the two 15.1 and 15.2. We got the grain cart out, so hopefully that all runs well. We're picking up bales of silage, getting them stowed away for right now. We've got cornmeal and cracked corn both being processed. A lot going on. We got the field limed that we extended because we bought that new entire lot. That seems to be going well. We've already planted winter barley. It actually just got a notice that we're done. I'm hoping we can navigate the rain, and looks like we are running into a bale issue here. I might have to fold this up. I might have to manually shove these bales over. Like so. And I don't think we need to rerun this for a second because it's still like maybe 3 bales out there. 4. So I might do those. I might scoop up these 3 over here. Maybe even the other 2. Just kind of get them off the table. And like I said, what we need to do as well is we need to roll our barley. And then I'll probably need some more fertilizer. I'm going to have a feeling that's going to pop up. But we'll get this somewhat set up for now. Like I said, that seems to be taking longer, but I could be wrong. It's been a long period of the morning, so I look at it that way. Like I said, we got a little pathway built out here now. Looks nice. 71% full, so he'll be doing a lot of back and forth. This is done. We don't have much liquid fertilizer left in that. Let's take a gander here at the fertilizer level. That's what obviously says neither. I mean, that's pretty solid all around. Some specks here and there, the old roadway. But that's not actually terrible. That one little section needs lime. I guess that's what it is, yeah. So we actually got these 2 fields need lime now. Like I said, we still don't know what we're going to do there, but we'll definitely get some lime put out on that field. It's only a matter of time, right? So the mower's halfway there. We'll be done the 2 cornfields by the time he's done mowing. But let's get this back cleaned up. We don't need to plant any more barley. This one major barley field should be enough. Interesting enough, that was a field that was already fertilized here because we plowed in the cotton. So that's why it's patchy looking like that. We're getting down on funds. Like I said, we made some expansion. That was kind of the focal point here. Was to boost up our property value. So asset-wise, we got a lot of funds. If you want to look at it that way. Those cornfields, pretty okay yield. Well, at least that cornfield was the only one we've done, but that was a strong yield. Sunflower, it was okay in the end. Still nothing to really write home about, but it is what it is when it comes to that stuff. This planter works great, though. I really do enjoy it. Get all the crud off of it. It still says rain's coming. It does not look like a long period. It looks like maybe an hour of rain. So if we jump ahead at some point, that's because we waited for the rain to end. Unfortunately, I wanted to take the beans. I was thinking about going right into the beans. Naturally, their moisture level already high still, so we gotta wait. It's unfortunate debacle we're facing there, but you can only do what you can do, right? And that's how it kind of goes. Really? And I knew I was gonna catch that up. Definitely not the best driver in Farm Sim. Get this backed in there, and I'll have to grab the versatile and get the roller going. So one beauty of articulating right now is you can really get this one packed right into the back corner. Like so. I'm probably going to set this off just over here for now. Like I said, we'll grab the versatile nemesis and get this working. Thought I could drive that around, but it's alright. I shouldn't need to wait on this. Keyword there, shouldn't. I actually want to upgrade to a larger roller now that we're starting to get larger fields. Because we do spend a fair amount of time rolling, especially on these large fields. This one being 12 meters, and I think you can get up to maybe 7 miles per hour. Could be less. Let's pull it right in over here. Well, I guess we should get used to pulling it down over here. So there is some hills here too. Be interesting to see with the harvester how it works it. We don't want the merger. We want the roller. And we're going to bring it down 2 meters just to kind of keep it all in place. Headlands. Let's start with center. Let's do 2 headlands. Should be fair for this field. There we go. So we'll send that on the way. So he's going to start it from here and drive over. Is he on right? Oh, you know what? Rookie mistake, folks. Let's go to the first waypoint. That would help, right? Amateur over here. There we go. Here's the starting point. Open it up. Get some rolling on this. I don't think there's anything good at the store now. We're down to, we got the Lexion still there. The Coon Spreader, the Corsa. And then we have Anthem 6.4 Mac available. Not really in need of the trucks. Our TriStar is still working well. Being as old as it is, so I'm fine with keeping that. But yeah, I think we'll let this work for a while, and maybe we'll come back when one of these jobs is done, because we'll still be probably harvesting corn at that point. Got a few logs I probably should drag over that we cut, that we need to feed our mill with to keep it going for a little bit longer until it's, you know, time for logging season. So I'll see y'all in a bit. Alright, so we're getting there. I didn't even realize when I set up course play on this field it had us going east to west when it should have just been north to south. Would have been this way, but we're gonna run this manually. That fog is staying there. It's kind of creepy. eerie feeling to it. We did get the 9RX hooked up to run line right now. I know it's an overkill, but we got a lot to do at once, so that's going on with that. Rolling, I think, is almost done. So I think we got a headland or two left, and that field to be rolled, which would be nice, because then I can kind of take the 230, and most likely what I'll do with the 230 is I'll end up spreading some manure. I want to get our manure pile back down, and then we can kind of work into the 8 hours freed up. Probably put slurry down. A little tight here in the corn. Get this unloaded. Once we get the alert that the silage bales can be unloaded, we're gonna go there. But watch the John Deere just kind of disappear into the fog there. So it's very interesting that this is like a low point on the map. The fog, kind of cool in a way. A little more eerie than cool. But yeah, things are rolling. Rain not far away. That's my one worry. We don't have enough to get the rest of that. He's gonna go back that way. One more full load of the grain cart, and that truck will be on its way again. But we got a fair amount done here. We shouldn't need any line on this field. I was hoping the baling aspect of it would be kind of done by now. That way we could use the 400 to start mulching and cultivating some soil. So that's on a delay. Looks like he's pretty full again, as expected. We are getting a pretty great yield off this. We're gonna have probably too much corn. That's why we're gonna run cornmeal and cracked corn, because we just have so much we have to. And I was hoping he'd make it to the end of this row, but it looks like he's gonna have to probably back out. Maybe not. Maybe he will get all the way to the turn and we can keep him kind of rolling. So there we go. I'd like to see that. In a way, in a way not, because the yield would be really high if he didn't make that, but pull up here and like I said, start the unloading process. Yeah, we're getting to the point we definitely need 2 harvesters. We just have so much land to work now that we really have to start improving the larger equipment. I'm gonna get a shed. At some point when we get money up, we'll put in that small field that used to be our winter grains. We'll turn that into a place to get liquid fertilizer, seed, and lime, which would be nice. I have a spot to put the harvester inside, which will be even better. At 2, I think it'll have enough room for 2 to fit in there without any headers on. So ideally, that's where that kind of falls to. I don't think that's going to be enough to get it going. We'll whip over and fill up the back of this. And probably be enough to send this truck on its way. And now I think the bale trailer is ready to go. Let's pull in from right here. Like I said, this might be enough to send it on its way in an ideal world. Like I said, then we'll run over, grab the bale trailer. If it actually needs... Actually, this might not be enough to send this truck on the way. It might not be over the 80%. Oh, it is. Perfect. Alright, so we'll send this back on. Work here, and the Magnum is... Oh, one bale short. Let's drop that loader. We'll scoop this one up. Finally almost done here. This will probably be Alma that will run the 230 on this initially, I think. Scoot down over here and unload these. And probably work a little bit off the camera again. Now I want to make sure I'm not in the way. Of our truck coming through. Push these bales off. Send it back up to collect some more bales. So I'll see y'all after we make a little progress into the next cornfield or two. Alright, so we're going to fill up some slurry, get that going as well. We're going to work on these fields, these smaller fields, and should be a fair amount. Oh, got caught up on the block there. We got the Nemesis is running manure on our meadow, so that's good. That'll get that piled down. Like I said, I'm going to try to use up a bunch of the slurry on these fields over here. So we'll start in the probably on this cornfield and work this, and then come through after it with a landau and till it all in. Pending we don't need more lime, which I did not think about that. So actually, let's take a gander. Things that need lime. We might be okay, folks. We might be okay. So those 3 fields don't need lime right now. So let's, first off, we want to take this on right. Clear current course. Excellent field work. What was the range of this? Why do I feel this is always 10 meters? I think this is 10 meters. I think we went through this last time. We go first, waypoint, field setting, start in the center, wonderful. There we go. So we'll set that off on its way. It's probably going to do this whole turnaround thing that it likes to do. Yep. Just because the point's right behind us. But we'll get that going. I can, I guess, looking at it. Field 5 unload. Where are you at? Loading. That'll kind of do it. Switch that over to slurry point. And naturally it'll kick that off, but that should run on its own now. And like I said, we should get a bunch of slurry. Yeah, work with, I would say, Hmm. 10, I would say, is right where it needs to be. Forget when you click it, it changes it to what it senses, but 10's fine. It'll be alright. Like I said, 12 looked a little out on one side. We're running over here. We're moving along. We're a little ways in. Probably a third. Third done so far. Not too shabby. Like I said, we'll run the land all after over that. Just loaded up that bay. We've got quite a bit of corn, by the way. Let's head over to our grain mill plus. We're at 328,000 liters already in there. We're on the last cornfield. I think we could break 400. Most likely we will break 400 liters, which will be nice because it's going to be a lot of cracked corn, a lot of cornmeal. And we've got a fair amount of flour built up now. So once the price on flour is ready, which moving up January, we should have a pretty solid winter on the south. So looking forward to that. Definitely going to have over 400,000 liters of corn go through there. We've already burned through quite a bit already as well, I think. So it's a good sign. Still got the large field of beans. It did rain briefly while we were off camera for maybe a half hour. So not bad. Beans, unfortunately, I checked right before it rained. They were still just high. A little bit of rain pushed them back up. We hoping they get down just a little more, to be in the high teens, not in the 20s. Would be ideal, but we'll see how that unfolds. This one's almost full. Get another 20 plus thousand liters going in, which will be another full truck of about 60,000 liters. It's a win-win. This winter, we are going to try to get some more of those trees out of there. I think the way the mill's at right now, we might be able to get all of those out of there, if not close to, which will be ideal to really open this field up over here and make this a big field. Like I said, we'll switch things around. Next year, we might do corn over in the bean field and run these two beans. Might be a good option for us, per se. This is chugging right along. This is what we like to see. It'll be interesting to see when it goes to refill. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I think the 9R might be too big, and with AI and articulated tractors, it's always a hit or miss, right? But no, we're going to use all the slur we have. We should be pretty close to empty when we get done, because we're going to do this field, the field right there next to us, the other sunflower field. Those cornfields, we'll get it, and we'll use up whatever's left out on the soybean field. But ideally, I think we could burn through it all before we even get to the soybean field, which is fine. If we have to use liquid fertilizer on that next year, we can. Like I said, I think it'll be corn, and I'll switch those other two to beans. We don't have to worry about trying to throw barley in there necessarily next year, though I'm still thinking about it. One big run of barley and giving us a surplus of straw bales to really work with as a starting point. Otherwise, we might have to start going to buy them. So we'll see. I did think about maybe buying enough to fill our TMR production site, and that'll leave enough for the bedding. But again, we're in pretty good shape. We do need to think about possibly still maybe having a calving barn or a beef area. Whether it be the calves or any of the dry Holsteins, we want to get them out, the heifers. Probably don't really want them in there yet until they start producing milk, but we'll come across that road in a little bit when we have more funds and try to decide if we should expand on that to try to make it a little easier and allow a little more overflow. So I think, again, we're going to have to probably sell off 50 to 100 head again. I think the actual number we're looking at was probably 75. I think we're going to have to get rid of 70 to 75. But we'll see. Like I said, I kind of want to see what this is going to do when it's out. I wonder, oh yeah, this one's coming back right now. So this will be the other thing, making sure these two don't collide. With our luck, and you can comment down in the comments, it's probably going to happen eventually on this route, where these two run into each other behind that barn. Never fails, right? One of the things I've thought about getting as well is actually a lagoon setup. So I got to do some more testing with custom modding this lagoon system, but ideally we could move a lot of our slurry off into that and just transport it over. And that could be something that probably would fit in over here or off in the distance a little bit. Or even back there, I guess. Just enough to allow to really build up. I am hoping there's going to be some more barns coming out soon that have capacity for more animals. We could always mod this one. To me, it's just like, you know, this is a good build already. And ideally for the size of it, it shouldn't really have any more than what it has. So the only thing about the Nemesis is it does struggle to get around that corner right there. That is one thing that it, I mean, there's a lot of manure in there too, but it does fight to get around there. Now when we're here, I just want to go back and just make sure that, you know, I'm not completely botching this. 10.4 meters is what that runs. So running at 10's okay. We'll hop back because it's just about out, which means we get to see the show here. It's going again. And there we go. Needs to be refilled. Should figure out the path. Trying to think. You might do the weird loop all the way around just because of how this track's set up. But a pretty good amount in that one tank. I mean, we're not throwing it on thick. We got deer bolting across the field right there. 5:30. So we're getting done that corn. We could have I think we'll have the beans done before midnight, I hope. As long as we don't get any more wet weather. So now he should go back towards the yard, and then he'll rotate around, because unlike the manure, they're going to run the opposite route, then figure it out from there. So now he'll loop and then break off to the right. Blocked by an object. That could only be one thing. Somebody running into somebody. I wish I could put up another little gate. I thought about putting a gate on the inside that would actually just close and look like it's kind of to that fence. So here's where it always gets a little snug. I mean, that right there is great precision, but then they always catch the ladder. Which is, with this is where it's been kind of more of the problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually back this up. And, you know, it won't look pretty, but let's see if we can get it to work. And this is what I was worried about with this, is this might be too much. Okay, so that picked that up there. We're going to go ahead and save that. I don't know what it's going to do actually right here. With articulating, it should whip right around. Okay, so that works now. We're good there. Oh, man. What is going on here? I swear sometimes these workers just got a mind of their own. So hopefully he'll get back on course. But I noticed the 8R over in this field has been struggling. It was good over there. Over here, it just can't seem to like stabilize. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But while we're over here, we know everything else is going to get back to normal. Let's top off. Let's top this off and go empty in the truck and send it back on the route. We're here for it anyway, right? Might as well do it. Give ourselves a little bit of breather before mayhem kicks in. Pretty low. Getting dark out now. Still got that fog. It won't go away down here. Very interesting. Did this get filled up? No, this isn't filled yet. Oh, it is. This will probably send the truck off on its way after this is done and emptied. It should all fit in this back hopper. No, definitely making progress. Like I said, a lot going on. Really wanted to get the land all out tonight. It's working with the 400, but I just don't think... You know, we could probably, when we start beans, we'll probably get to work those other fields. Or just save it for the next episode. So that is good to go. Like I said, the truck's going to take off. It's probably at like 90%, 95% full. That's fine. So we'll go there with that. Alright, so we made it. It's 10 o'clock. We're throwing down some manure. We're not going to do the land all stuff today, but the only field left will be the soybean field that needs, you know, fertilizer on it of some sort, I think. I'll have to check to make sure it doesn't need lime, but yeah, we are just throwing down manure. We're actually getting low on that, so we're out of slurry. Well, we got some finally going back in there, but we ran through all the slurry we had, which was nice. We got just under 75,000 liters of manure left. And then, like I said, over here, let's make sure we don't need lime on that field. And we're almost halfway in this one. So I think we might have enough manure to get through, I hope. And we're hoping to be done by midnight. It'll be close the way it's going. But we're slinging it. And harvest season is done. So I guess that's the win. A lot of corn. What did we actually have for soybeans? Soybeans, we finished with just under 200,000 liters. I will take that. That's, you know, 246 when it's at top dollar. So we can work with that. And, yeah, sunflower, we're still good. I think I'll just keep it to the two smaller other fields. We'll be fine. Corn, like I said, we got a lot going. Cracked corn, cornmeal getting produced. Hoping that turns a nice profit for us because it doubles the corn value. Pretty good. And it looks like production rate's pretty fast for that. You could expedite it or rush it a little bit, but I think we're fine. With that said, though, like I said, we'll finish up this, but we won't have enough to do that soybean field, which again, not too worried about it. We can just double it in the spring when we plant corn, because we're going to plant corn in that. These two fields will be soybean. And then maybe the one of the fields back by the main yard. But until next time, Farmer Taz out.